This is Ivy Doom Kitty, and you're watching Geek Out SA.
And welcome to Geek Out SA. I think we worked out our stuff, and hopefully it's going good, but welcome back. We got everything going, and we should be sounding good. Is our mic, do you see our mic going on OBS? Make sure we're going.
I see some little green lights going up. So hi everybody, y'all can see me. I'm back here today. Our producer had to go get some things done, so couldn't come and produce the show tonight. So I'm back here behind the scenes trying to talk on the show and run this OBS. So we're going to go back to Vince.
Okay. So interesting thing happened like after our last show. Well, of course we went to PAX, but before we get to that, the Fine Brothers of Fine Brother Entertainment on YouTube decided to try to trademark reacts.
Like the word reacts?
Like the word reacts, so they can, in response to doing some of their videos, like elderlies react, or kids react, or something of that nature.
So wait, how exactly can you trademark a word? Like reacts is a word that everybody uses all the time. It's not like they came up with that word. They didn't make that word up. That word was already part of the English language before they started using it. So how do they get to trademark a word that was already a word?
They can do it because nobody else has. No, I mean, nobody else has done it yet. They can go through, submit it, and if it's approved, they trademark. Just like, I forget which tabletop game, it's a card game, and if you know how you tap cards where you turn them sideways, you cannot use that in any other game. You can't say you tap the card.
Isn't that Magic the Gathering that does that?
Is it Magic?
I think so. I'm not sure.
You're not able to tap cards.
But they're
because
trademarking a word react. It's like if I trademark the word dance, I'm just going to go trademark the word dance. And every time somebody uses the word dance, you have to pay me.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. That's what they wanted. Let's say you get $1,000 from YouTube revenue and on one of your videos, then that $1,000, they would take 40% of that. I think YouTube will take 20% of that, which would leave you with 40%. So of that $1,000, you would get $400.
See, that's math for you. Oh, speaking of math, real quick before we go on with this, a lot of my students from my 5th period class, they actually subscribe to us on YouTube. I was talking to them about something and it came up. Anyway, so I promised them a shout out for their subscription and they've actually been watching our videos. Some of them liked Ivy Doom Kitty and stuff like that. So there's only 11 of them, so I'm going to see if I remember everybody, okay?
Okay.
It's Abby, Miranda, Anthony, Gabriel, Joshua, Brianna, Jasmine, Naomi, Sierra, Janice, and Kerthal.
Wow. And I actually saw, I think, Gabriel post on one of the videos.
He did post.
Yeah, well, thank you for subscribing. Tell your friends to subscribe. I mean, a lot of times you'll learn a lot here. But going back to Fine Brothers, yeah, so that was crazy. I mean, the YouTube blew up. They have like 14, they used to have 14 billion or 14 million subscribers. And they lost subscribers by the 100,000s because they did this. And a bunch of the YouTubers out there, like us, are upset about this.
So do you think the subscribers that they lost are other YouTubers or?
Probably both. But here's the thing. They don't actually make the videos that are being reacted to.
The Fine Brothers
Right.
don't
They
make
just,
videos.
No, they don't make them videos that they're reacting to. Like, this is like a reaction thing. They're filming somebody watching a video of whatever on YouTube. And then they just film that and they put this elderly reacts to such and such and such.
Oh, it's like that video you showed me before where it was like that kid and he was like, "Oh no, don't go in there," and like, "Oh, don't do that," and like,
Yeah.
Like all that. It's like that kind of stuff.
It's something kind of sort of like that, or like old or elderly that do it.
Well, BuzzFeed does a lot of that kind of stuff too.
They do that.
I don't know if they call it.
And as
reacts.
long as you don't call it reacts, because they've already here's the thing, they've already trademarked kids react. They've already trademarked elderly react. Already, that's done and said for. But here's the thing: we've already had a change, and in fact, they were going to have something called React World, where they were just going to compile a bunch of these different videos in there, and they are taking all of that back, and they're rescinding their trademarks for everything that they have because the internet blew up about it. So.
But you would think if you have millions of subscribers, like I wouldn't know what that's like. We have 200 subscribers, but if you have millions, do you really care if 10,000 bail out? I mean, you're still getting people to watch your reactions, right? And now you are potentially capable of going after these people who are doing reacts videos and getting revenue for not doing anything except owning a word in the English language. Like, I just said reacts like 25,000 times. So if anybody were to watch
they
this
won't
and
get
pay
you
us,
for that. They'll get you if it's in the title of the YouTube. In the title, they can't get you for like saying reacts.
So we're
They
just going
can't-
to have
I
to
mean,
make really long, convoluted titles.
They
Like
can't say
elderly
anything to
people
me for saying
respond-
tap 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 tap. They can't do anything for me of that. I'm not making any money off of that. Tap tap tap. Tappa tappa tappa. Whatever it is. I can say reacts. They can't do anything about it. So
they're just trademarking it. They're simply trademarking it as far as using it as a title for one of the videos. Is that what we're saying?
right, but I mean that is such a common word and such a common thing that happens on YouTube. That's kind of like a crappy move on their part.
Well, yeah, because if you look up synonyms for reacts, there's not a really great synonym for react that we use very often. You're going to have like the longest title ever, like elderly people showing how they feel about this video that they just watched or whatever, you know.
Well, I mean, you can change it to elderly people's reaction.
Yeah. Till they trademark that too.
So they trademark that, yeah. The one thing they couldn't, because they do YouTubers react, well, they can't trademark that because YouTube owns YouTube. So they couldn't do that one. So I think that was one of the reasons they wanted to do reacts.
Just by itself.
Just by itself. So
Well,
I don't know.
I think that's a really shady thing to do. So in their defense, did they have anything to say?
I mean, like I said, they've because they flagged other videos that had react, like elderly react or kids react. They flagged them, and a lot of them have been pulled, and they're going back and resending all of that and saying, "Hey, YouTube," but it's going to take a while before that happens. from all this mess that they've already made.
And can that go retroactively backwards?
That's what they're gonna have to do. But some of them have already been pulled, and some tubers have taken it down already.
But did the Fine brothers, like in any press release or anything, did they say what they felt their justification was for going about and trademarking this and causing this big conundrum?
Well, they said that no, we didn't have this. We weren't thinking about doing it this way, but I mean, if you're trademarking something so you can sue people if they use it. And I don't think trademarking something as general as Reacts is fair.
No, I don't see why they were even allowed to do that.
Well, there's a whole process that it has to go through, and if anybody contests it, then it takes longer. So there's already a lawyer out there that's doing, that's helping like these YouTubers out and saying, hey, you can't do that. That's not something that you can do. I mean, they're not.
Well,
I don't know.
luckily for us, we don't do any
Maybe
type of
they
reaction
they can
videos.
trademark React's World. They can do that all day. That's a legitimate business name. But I don't think you should do it for, a general word Reacts.
No,
It's
and I
not
don't
fair.
think they should
It's
be
not
allowed
cool.
to. I just don't think that that's right.
They're just being a bunch of jerks. Well, now they're rescinding it, so we don't want to look like jerks, so.
But you are.
But ya are. Fine brothers. That sucks.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure they have their own. Like, I'm sure they have already established a really steady stream
Well,
of their
and they've
own
already-
revenue. So why?
They
do
have already
need
established
to...
why do they need to go in and try to hone in on other people's just because you were the first ones to put it together like that in a organized format. I don't know that they were the first ones to ever do it either.
They were the first ones to make a lot of money off of it.
They were the first ones to make a lot of money off of it.
That sometimes is the thing that I find to be problematic is that these people become these big entities and they forget what it's like to start somewhere, and you're supposed to have competition in this country. I mean, that's one of the things that we're founded on, so if your React videos aren't good enough and these new people are coming in and they're able to take over your little niche in the market because their React videos are better, then you just have to up the ante and make better React videos, not coin the terms so that nobody else feels comfortable making them.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be how the process works.
Mm-mm.
The process should be you work really hard. If somebody comes and tries to take it over, you work even harder and take it back over from them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the notoriety. They don't need this extra.
I mean, I guess they
just
don't
greedy.
have that much
It's
notoriety
greedy.
because I've never heard of them before. I
It's
didn't even know what
greedy.
they were. So,
Well,
In
they're
YouTube land.
YouTube famous.
I guess. Because that's so important to the
I mean, if
gamers.
they had 14 million or
Billion or
million or whatever they have, but I don't know. It's upsetting.
It's obnoxious. That's what it is.
Well, it's upsetting. It's upsetting that someone would take advantage of something like that just because they can.
Well, I don't know why you're. I don't know why you're upset by that. That's kind of par for the course. Like the people
No, but
who
that
can take advantage.
But that
do.
general of a word,
Dude,
that's
how many,
not right.
How many things has? I mean, I guess Disney has a lot of intellectual property but it kind of goes back to the whole.
Yeah, but Mickey
it goes
Mouse
back to
is
the
like
whole thing that we were talking about, like with the cosplay. Like, okay, I can see them doing maybe a cease and desist for, if these are professional cosplayers and they're making money off of Disney's intellectual property, right? But all of us who are casual cosplayers, is that necessary? Are you going too far? Or we were talking about this, and when you get the video up, well, no, I don't guess it was on the video. Justin and I were just talking about it together.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group in San Antonio that plays a game based off of Star Wars.
Yes.
And Fantasy Flight puts out the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they have permissions from Disney to use this intellectual property. So then there was another company who wanted to enhance the game in a way that Fantasy Flight said that they weren't willing to do. They didn't want to do it. Which was making space wreckage for the people to play around. Because then it makes it more realistic for the players, right? So this company got the models and made the templates and stuff, and then they would wreck the templates in such a way that it looked like space junk and pour their own models and paint them or send them out, and then the players can paint them, right? Well, because even though it's wrecked and it's changed and it's smushed or it's space junk or it's parts and pieces, like some of them they spread them out and they were parts and pieces, like floating space junk and rocks and boulders and stuff. Even that, Disney gave them a cease and desist and said they had to cease and desist because it was their intellectual property and they couldn't use it anymore. But isn't the copyright law kind of like, if you change it, it no longer falls underneath that?
It should be.
I mean, that was my understanding of
Yeah.
it. So
it's all a gray area. I mean, it's whoever has the most money.
right, whoever has the deepest pockets to go fight
Yeah.
it, right?
And
That's
that's why that lawyer intervened in all of this, and I guess he's kind of bankrolling it, but they're kind of they took a step back and say, well, maybe we shouldn't have done this. And they're just not doing it at all. So they even took down their own videos. When I was doing the research on that, I was trying to click on the video. It's like, it's gone. And I was like, what? What happened? Because they put out a whole video of how they were going to do this. So that's crazy. I don't know. But off to happier things, we went to PAX South 2016. This weekend, and I had a lot of fun. I ran some games for Steve Jackson Games, which was awesome. I'm wearing a Bill and Ted's thing, and I didn't actually get to pay this Bill and Ted's was it excellent board game, but I got to see it, so that's kind of cool. They were play testing it there.
Well, you got to see another one that I play tested or kind of
Yeah,
play tested.
Simon's Cat.
Simon's Cat.
And I had no idea that this was a thing, but people were just coming in droves. Oh, Simon's Cat, can I buy it? And it's not even out yet. They're not doing it till midsummer or something like that. So I don't know. That was a fun little card game. Which is you're trying to match colors or numbers.
Well, the nice thing about it is it's not balanced evenly.
Right.
So there are only
but that's a good thing.
There are only 2 green ones, but there are 12 pink ones, and so you're holding on to your hand and you're like, maybe somebody's gonna play that green one, so I need a 1 or a 2 so I can switch it over to the color that I have. But then you get stuck and you have to play your cards and stuff. So it has a good little fun dynamic.
Yeah.
I see how people can think that it would be another game that's matching color and number that's pretty common and familiar. It kind of starts with that basic concept of color and number, but then expands from there. So I thought it was a good, fun little game. I can't wait until you and I are creating games that people want to come and like get before they're even ready. I mean, I think that that's got to be something like really, really awesome to be doing.
Yeah, definitely. But and also, I mean, it's just for stuff like that. It's the subject matter, because they didn't even know what Simon Cat was about. They just wanted to play it because it was Simon's Cat, not because it was a card game or a board game or anything like that.
Yeah, I wonder what the thing is about cats and dogs like exploding all of a sudden. Because have you seen
Bum like exploding cats?
exploding kittens? Have you seen Pugmire, which is the role playing game that's out? It's been out before because I had heard about it last Gen Con, so it was already written. But now he put it on Kickstarter, and it's like 700% funded already, and has 22 days to go.
Nice.
And everybody's like, oh, I want to play as a dog, and maybe we should do more dog and cat things, honey.
Well, I mean, there's a number of things you can't, and that's cool and all. And I don't know. I've also seen this thing where there's this ant simulator that was going to be created.
Like
and
ants, like creepy crawly ants?
On Kickstarter. Like, yeah, ants. Like, you're an ant and you're, like, going throughout this world and, like, stocking up on food and stuff like that. And apparently the game developer, which he's also, like, a YouTuber, he went into business with a couple of his friends, a couple of his really good friends. Well, it was crowdfunded, successful. His business partners spend the majority of the money on alcohol and strippers.
No way.
Yeah. And he's going to go back and he's going to try to refund all these people their money. Little by little.
This is me right now. Like, seriously, how can you even do that? Like, people send you all this money to get this game.
And it was his friend that did it. His business partners. So he can't make the game because his ex-business partners are telling him, if you make the game, we'll sue you.
What? Oh, heck no.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's totally messed up.
So yeah, there's a number of things. I mean, it's hard to get funded on Kickstarter. It's hard to get it funded anywhere.
It's hard enough to be a nobody that nobody knows, right? Mm-hmm. And to try to get somebody to believe in your project and to get you funded on Kickstarter. And there's already been all these people before us, indie developers before us, who didn't know what they were doing, who didn't ask for enough money, who didn't realize, oh, hey, I've got to pay for shipping and rewards because you've got to offer people something in order to pay for it. Or this happened at the factory, or this happened with the shipping box, or this happened over here, or this happened over there. So there have been so many issues. Like, I know our son funded these specialty chocolate dice. Never got them. He funded some other cards and stuff. Never got them. Like, never. They, like, fall off the face of the earth. You and I funded pencil dice.
Yes.
That seems like that's never going to come to fruition. I don't know what happened to pencil dice. I mean, I think the guy who was producing pencil dice, like, dropped out of the gaming industry completely and went to be an actor or something, you know?
Wow.
It's, like, ridiculous. I do know some of the bigger ones. There are legitimate problems. Like, you talked to Will in the video that you did at PAX, and his stuff got stuck at customs.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so there really are legitimate problems that people don't realize happens in the gaming scene. You know, you go through these companies to print things, and you and I got 1,000 copies of a game printed incorrectly. They just decided to change the words in our game, and it's not correct. You know, I know some people have had problems because they have little models or figures with their game. So they go to get those poured and, get them sent, the initial ones sent, and they're wrong, or, they're off, or the colors look weird compared to what you see on pictures and stuff. So there's all of this that goes into fixing it and getting it out. So then when people just downright drink the money away
and spend it on strippers.
Which, my kids might be watching this, so we won't talk about too much. That's horrible. And then it just furthers people's affirmations that Kickstarter should really just be used for large companies to take pre-orders to see if people are interested in the big projects that they're going to do. Yeah. And to heck with the little guy.
And that's not what Kickstarter was all about. That's not what it was designed for. I don't know. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough on those of us who really need to use the money.
I mean, because a ton of us have legitimate, really awesome games, and you may not ever see them because they're never going to get funded. So if you're watching, you should really fund these little guys, because, you may miss a really good game that may be coming out.
Agreed.
But yeah, no.
So I'm sorry, we digressed a lot from PAX.
So we went to PAX.
Yes.
And it was awesome. And you did a blog post about it that you can see on our site now, because now you can see our blog post on geekouttsa.com. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. I think we started with Jessica Jones was the first post that we did.
Yeah, that was the first post of the new year that I did, because we spent a ridiculous amount of time on the couch watching Jessica Jones, but it was totally worth it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to kind of review that and get it started. I wanted to start practicing writing more. I know that you brought it up last week that I got published for my for my help with Popcorn Press with their role playing. So I want to write more. Our role playing game is out that I wrote for. So I wanted to take the blog and take our show a step further. And also I didn't feel like I had enough projects to do. So I thought, hey, let's, add in some weekly writing.
Yeah, but you like writing.
I do. I enjoy writing, and it's good practice for me. So it's something that's really new. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I would really love for you to check it out. Again, you can go to www.geekoutsa.com. And it's on the right-hand side, left-hand side. This is my left. And it's on the left-hand side, and then you just click on the ones. Because I'm writing it, I have to talk about things that are either personally important to me in the geeky world, or something that I just saw and read and I felt like, whoa, and I did some research on and am giving my opinion, or something that I've gone to. So, I talked about Alan Rickman dying, because that personally, it really affected me. It really bothered me. I was very attached to some of his characters, and I don't usually have this celebrity attachment, but
even Hans Gruber.
Yeah, even Hans Gruber, because he kind of makes that movie. You kind of need a really good bad guy to be able to root for Bruce Willis, right? So I wrote about that. Obviously, I wrote about PAX because we were there. Mm-hmm. So different things. I'll be writing about different things depending on what we're doing, or where we're going, or what's going on in the world, in the geeky world.
Yeah, I'll probably be posting stuff about tech stuff, so be watching for that. For the all-new Tex-Mex.
You're the guy to do it.
Tex-Mex. Yes. But I'll be... we have a new rig set up for our mobile interviews and stuff that really has been working really well. So we're probably going to show you some of the stuff that we do in order to get that done, and I'll do a review on the iOgrapher.
What's up? What's an iOgrapher?
It's this thing.
Oh, cool.
But I'll talk about it later.
All right.
But yeah, it's a case so that you can put on your iPad Mini. I think they have it for the iPad and the iPad Air. But you can put this case on your iPad Mini, and then you can attach external lenses to it, so you can either go through and have a telephoto lens, or you can have a wide-angle lens. So, which works out for us because a lot of the times there's not a lot of space.
Yeah.
And the wide-angle lens helps us get in a lot closer than we would without it.
Well, and you got a lot of looks and everything at PAX South when you were carrying that around, so people
Oh,
seem to
yeah.
be impressed with your setup that you had going on.
Yeah, they really liked it. So, well, because you can go through and you can, well, I'll talk about it later because it's, there's a ton of stuff that you can do with it, and it's really awesome. And if you do YouTube shows, because a lot of people at like, CES and, all the other big electronic shows, you go there and this is the kind of stuff that they're using. They're using iPads and iPad minis to get stuff done. So if you get something like this to be able to do more with it, then it's a lot helpful.
So tell me, because people are going to get to see, they're going to get to read what I had to say about PAX South, but they don't really get to see or hear your opinion of PAX South. So tell me, top 3 things you liked, and then let's go to top 3 things you think they should work on.
Top 3 things that I like: that it's huge, and there's lights, and it's exciting, and there's stuff to see, and things to do, and things to play. I got to play with a big old mech. They had like a LAN party with a bunch of not even Xbox 360s, just Xboxes, and I was in a mech, and then we're going through and like trying to kill each other. It was awesome. But just to be able to just hang out and play stuff like that is just like stuff that you wouldn't have easy access to. And like games that are just not out yet, and you still get to go and like test them out before they've come. Because you don't want to hear that pop when I plug in. So,
Gotcha.
So we should be good now. Thanks for letting us know.
Sorry, it's technical difficulty on technical difficulty.
Colleen usually doesn't do the thing. I probably should have done it.
Sorry, and well, it's good because now you have to be on camera for the last bit of the show because I'm having a massive allergy attack and I can feel my face breaking out in hives and my nose is starting to close up. So you're going to be on camera and I'm going to talk.
Okay. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I can't wait to go again next year. And apparently they made an announcement that PAX South is there to stay.
Yeah, that was what I saw. So.
I wouldn't see why not, because they make a lot of money.
Well, so our city's already set up for tourism, right? So we already have that as a plus. Because we're San Antonio, Texas, we have lower costs on a lot of things. So we have a plus for that. We have other things for the attendees to do because the con closes at 6, right? So there are places downtown on, people can go see the Alamo, they can go to the Riverwalk, they can go to nice restaurants. So really, I feel like San Antonio is a great place to have events like this.
Yeah, and it's cheap, which is, it's inexpensive, not cheap. But I enjoy that. We also enjoy watching TV and watching our TV shows. And we got to see the second episode of X-Files, of the new X-Files, which
Second
was
or
awesome.
third?
Was it the third?
I feel like it was the third episode. There was the one with the pilot one, then the one with the weird kids. Or was the one with the weird kids the pilot one?
I don't remember.
I feel like we've seen 3 episodes, but maybe I'm separating some that were one episode. Okay. I didn't dislike this one. I did like it, but didn't you feel like it was pretty campy?
But the original X-Files, a lot of it was campy though.
I don't remember it being this campy. This was like, you know,
It was a little
Buffy
bit
musical
more
campy.
over the top, but it wasn't Buffy musical campy.
I thought it was Buffy musical.
It
campy.
wasn't. But X-Files had a lot of it pretty campy, and I saw a post about it, and people actually really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that it kind of went back to the roots because you have Mulder kind of like doubting himself
I thought
until
that was
that
a good
episode.
Yeah, I thought that was a good.
And he finally realized, hey, no, I want to believe again.
He finally realized it's okay to be a nut job. No. I thought it was cute. All in all, it was funny. I liked it. I laughed with it. I was actually paying attention this week to it. So, and then I like that Scully is like one step ahead of Mulder at all times. He's like, what?
And she's a little more of a believer than he was until the end of that last episode. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check that out. We saw Supergirl. And
I actually
the
liked
Supergirl
it this
Bizarro
week, too.
came out. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there ever was a Supergirl Bizarro. But
I mean, they stole that from Superman, right?
I think they stole that from Superman. I'm pretty sure
I
that
would
there
think
wasn't
even if
a
it was in Supergirl, they wouldn't have named it the same thing that they named the character in Superman, right?
Right. Well, because they didn't name her Supergirl, but they just named her Bizarro. Maybe they should have named her Bizarra.
Bizarra.
I don't know.
Female plural. No. But I thought I liked it. I really I thought they could have developed her a little bit more before they unleashed her, because we kind of had just seen him like creating her and stuff. But all in all, I thought it was pretty good.
Very cool. I wonder who's this Anonymous is.
I don't know. Say hi, Anonymous.
Hi, say hi, Anonymous. Tell us who you are, and we'll give you a shout out. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. Flash was tonight, and we missed the first 2 minutes of it.
Oh, that was my bad.
What is it? The Arrow. What are you thinking about Arrow?
Last week was the one where Felicity had to fight her demons, right, of her old emo self.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one. I liked following that. I liked that Felicity got a little more attention because I really like her character.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see her stay paralyzed and to have to overcome that and to deal with it and to see some of the struggles that she would have to go through. I think that's very genuine and real, so I would like to see that be something that they continue to tackle.
Well, you know that Adam's is probably going to be the one to fix it, right?
I mean, that was my assumption, yeah, but you know, I would like for them to take that route. I don't know that they will, but I think that would be interesting. Rather than, oh, you know, we're in this superhero world, so we have the fix-all for everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what other characters do we kind of see? I'm kind of zoned in on Felicity right now, so the other characters are in the background for me.
I don't know how I feel about the Arrow right now. I don't know. I'm in between liking him and not liking him right now. Because he just doesn't seem like the Arrow anymore. Or the Green Arrow, or
Why do you
whatever he's
feel
going
like
to call
that?
himself.
Is it because he's been like so guarded and so like trying to change and to be more husband material and more lovey-dovey with Felicity.
Oh, it's George.
Oh, hi, George.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it. I see the Arrow as like kind of being a loner, and I don't think that's something that he's ever gonna get away from.
But I think this is something
I think you need that tension, but I think it's a little much.
No, I don't know. I think that this is something that you and I talked about before. Is these superheroes have to have this conundrum in their reality where they have this great responsibility, like they tell you in Spider-Man, right? With great powers comes this great responsibility. So they have this great responsibility and they feel this great weight that they need to be taking care of everybody out there who can't, who doesn't have powers, who's less fortunate. So they don't actually get to be actual human beings, and they don't get to love because then they put people in danger. So I think inherently it is part of being a superhero that they do have to have this soft human side, because it just brings that struggle in there that I think we need for them to be superheroes. Although maybe not, but even Deadpool, who we see as being, you know, if he were a gamer, we would see him as being chaotic, and not even necessarily chaotic neutral. You know, I've seen people have this conversation before too. But even he, you know, goes through all of this and does this because he loves his wife, and even like if you look at Ghost Rider, and you know he loves his wife, and you know, so there are these human superhero dynamics, and I don't know that I'm having a problem with Arrow finding himself in a place where maybe he wants to be allowed to back down from some of that responsibility and have some of his own personal life.
Right.
I think people with great responsibility do have that feeling every once in a while, and they're like, I just want to live life for myself. I just want to have something for myself, but then I can't have something for myself because it could get taken away from me, ripped up and killed, and like put in a wheelchair.
Right.
Right? So
I don't know. Yeah.
Because you see, Supergirl had to make that decision this week with Kat's son.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I can't because now.
Yeah, Supergirl isn't the Arrow though.
What? Because she's a little girl, or because she's not established as being this lone wolf kind of character?
Yeah. She's not a lone wolf. She has tons of people helping her.
Yeah. Yeah, but they still have to worry about who they love and how they're...
George just asked right now what we thought about the entire thing about Amanda Waller dying the way she did in that episode. The wife. That she just kind of like... They killed her just like that and didn't really do any type of so long goodbye type of thing. It was just like, boom, you're dead. See ya.
I don't know. Which one was she?
She was, what's his name's wife? I forget what his name is.
I guess I don't even know, like, I guess that character didn't mean enough to me to even be on my radar. I don't even know who she is.
Well, she's the one that is with her husband that was in that, because they go into the, her old, you know, spy ring or whatever it was, and then ended up killing her.
I guess that must have been one of the times when I was like,
Zoning out?
zoning out on the arrow, and I was writing and not paying attention, or grading papers and not paying attention. I don't even remember this character that you're talking about. I don't even remember this episode you're talking about.
That was the last episode. But no, I mean, for that, I was invested in her character. So it didn't really...
She was, okay, there's the two brothers, right? And the one brother, or was that the episode before? No, that was the episode, right? It's the two brothers, and the one brother is in the prison cell, and the other brother is outside of. But his wife survives, and they go home because the brother goes home with
I'm
them.
sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong one. The one that headed the operation that they killed her so easily.
Same episode?
Same episode. It wasn't the wife.
Yeah, well, apparently I didn't care about her enough to care whether she died or not. So for me, I guess that answers George's
Well,
question.
apparently it's a big thing in, like, she's, like, a larger character than she... I mean, they didn't really show her much in Arrow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Since you and I don't read the comic books, we don't have any problem with them deviating from any of these comic book worlds. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't care if they deviate. I don't care if they lose characters. Like, I know people are having, like, a big cow because Fish Mooney's supposed to be coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the Batman series. So what? It's these people's interpretation of that world. So you just have to let it go. Like, if you want to make your own interpretation of the world, you know, get your little action figures out and make your video or whatever. Do what you've got to do. But that character wasn't even on my radar. And since I don't read the comics, I didn't.
And he said, do you feel it had anything to do with the fact that the Suicide movie Squad movie is coming out? I don't know.
Because she's an actress in that movie?
Is she?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
I don't even know who she is, so I don't know what the connection is. Yeah, you lost me on that one, George. I'm so sorry. That is not somebody that I wasn't even paying
Had on
attention
your radar.
to her. No, it's not on my radar at all.
So what else did we watch? That's about it, right?
I would love to watch Agent Carter if somebody would stop falling asleep during it. Is that your
I don't know why I'm falling
indication
asleep.
that you hate Agent Carter this season? Because
I
you keep
don't
falling
know.
asleep. Like, literally, you keep falling asleep every time we try to watch it.
Yeah, but we end up watching it at like 11:30.
So is it just that we're old?
I think it's probably because we're old.
So I've really been wanting to watch Agent Carter because I think she kicks booty. So we'll have to pick that one up. And then I hear Daredevil should be coming soon, very soon, back to
Yes.
Netflix. So I'm excited for that.
That and then eventually Batman versus Superman. It's gonna be awesome.
Deadpool movie's in a couple of
It's
weeks.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that
we're
should
gonna
be
see that
pretty
first.
good. So, but no, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the Fine Brothers, greedy jerks. She is a lady. Oh, Amanda Waller is the lady that's in charge of the Suicide Squad. She put the team together. I guess they're not the same universe. Who knows? Or maybe it's after the fact. I don't know. Or before the fact. Or after the fact, yeah. Yeah, I was right in the same.
It's
the
around
first
the
thing.
fact. It's
It's,
next to
it's
the
around
fact.
the fact. It's
by
something
that
like
fact.
that. It was some other dimension. Who knows? So, greedy jerks, Fine Brothers.
Yep,
well,
greedy jerks.
We talked about PAX, our PAX review. So yeah, definitely, I love PAX. I'd love to check out the other PAX one day, all the other ones. Maybe even go to the one in Australia with Man Fantastic, which you got to check out that interview because he's awesome.
Yeah,
He's totally fantastic and awesome. What else did we talk about? We talk all about our Geeky TV. And we're going to be figuring out why YouTube keeps dropping our stuff and see what's going on with that. So But no, thanks for tuning in. Sorry everything was a little bit crazy, but we're fixing our streams and seeing what's going on. But I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen.
Geek out, SA.